All right. All right, it is July 29th. We're doing another day wrap up session. Again, I'm going to do my best to keep this under 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get my notes out. All right, cool. So we're going to be doing this for July 29th. This is a Monday, and we're going to have a fairly busy week. I did all this is in hindsight. I was not interested in taking any kind of trades today, primarily due to the eventful week that we're going to have, and I'll kind of go through that in just a moment. Pulling this up on my other screens. And then we're gonna have here. All right, I'll go ahead and get this turned off. Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to work that in. Just bear with me. All right, cool. So for the earnings calendar, this is just gonna be for the U.S. So we don't have anything Monday. It's the main reason why I want to kind of sit on the sidelines today. Tomorrow we're gonna have the 6 o'clock, and then we're gonna have the 7 o'clock. Again, I am on the Pacific time. So this is something I'm going to be interested in. I do have some nice, some awareness for the 7 a.m. readings. Be interested to see what price action shows, but I need a little better insight on how today went. Looks like we're pretty much just neutral, so just a compression day basically, but we'll look more shortly. So this is going to be Tuesday, and we do have earnings. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up on the other screen as well. Put these two together, right? There we go. So before the bell, we have here, you can pause and look at these, and then we have after the close. I'm mainly going to be focused on Microsoft and AMD, definitely for the tech side. Um, so that's that. So we'll just focus on just Tuesday. So some data early in the morning, and then we do have some somewhat important, some for sure important other earnings releases, and then we'll have the 7 a.m. readings. It's important to note that we do have FOMC happening on Wednesday, so no surprise if this is somewhat like muted or ends up in being like a balanced reaction, because this is what's really important. I know we're kind of eyeballing um, some Fed rate cuts, if I recall, if I understand correctly. And then just the last look here. This should have been the information for today. So we ended up basically just neutral for the day. For the outliers, we have the consumer discretionary, and this would be your Amazon, your Tesla's, Home Depots here. Looks like these are the outperformers for the day. The worst would have been energy. Real estate has been doing somewhat well over the past couple of weeks. But overall, just a nice balanced day. Nothing here that really stands out. And this should just be like Google and I forget who else. Meta, yeah. Neutral, and then plus they did have their earnings where I know they had a decent response in the beginning, but it was taken back the day after. So that's good to see. So they should be a little less than where they started on Thursday close. Okay, cool. How far are we in? I'm just gonna make a quick note. So we are 4 minutes in. Let me bring this down. Just bear with me one moment. I just wanted to kind of just get started on this and not waste any time. Okay, so 4 minute mark. Cool. All right, cool. So we have the daily candle here. Oh, well, hold on. Actually, let me go back. Start with the week. So I didn't do my preview, so this is just basically just going to be a short run up. So basically we had this engulfing candle here at the all-time highs. I believe this was like overnight, if I recall. I could be wrong, but the high, I have to double check. But of course we had that engulfing there, and then last week, we broke through the support and headed into like June's, May's range. This is on the S&P 500 and closed below, or pretty much right at that support. So bears definitely have advantage for sure. And again, that's the weekly. And then I mentioned in my notes on Friday, ideally bulls would love to close above this level, and they did that. So for me, this is like somewhat balanced for the most part. We are building volume, lower. So I mean, it's really important. So the Bears definitely still have control, but bulls are still in this. You know, let's not confuse ourselves. You still need to fix your charts when you're looking at the overall trend. But you do have to give respect, especially with this separation. Because how many closes? This is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Looks like about 8 closes below. Well, 9 closes below. So this is it's a nice little trend down. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the NQ. I much prefer to look at the market profile, but so be it. We're at about 2 minutes in, so a little more of a bearish close for sure, but still the same idea for the most part. They're able to close a little bit above their range, but this is much weaker for sure. Um, just interesting to see how their 5 SMA is a little tighter here. I don't trying to get an understanding of this. This is just interesting to see. So I'm just kind of taking that in visually. Okay, cool. And then we look at let me put these together. This is going to be last week and a little bit of before. And then our macro composite, or it goes back to April, so I wouldn't say macro, but hey. This is that zone that I was talking about in my prep on Friday. This should have been like the contract premium. Looks like we just opened up. I know it was like a small gap up on Sunday, and then we shot up in like the first minute. I think it was actually like a 1 minute candles. But yeah, we ended up shooting up on tech and the S&P 500. I'm sure it was some other people as well. Kind of went in here, bashed around some of these singles, just former area. Tried to accept this poorly auctioned area. We got, tried to build and we failed, tried to go in. That was an up thrust. We ended up shooting back down. I think this was like RTH, if I recall. And again, all this is like hindsight. I'm just kind of taking a quick look at it. So yeah, we rejected it. No data or anything. We just kind of just burst through, testing this premium area, which should have been the contract premium. And again, they're able to hold above here pretty well. It's a nice bit of volume. So we break through for about 7-8 points, and then just immediately shoot up, and we're still in this balance range, pretty much where we started. So I mean, nothing special here, but I do want to go ahead and kind of clean up these singles. So overall, still balanced. Nice to see them bounce off that contract premium. So seems like people are saying, this is still worth the price. We're agreeing on some price up here. We're building volume up, like the shape of this, past week and a half or so. Excuse me, it's not past week and a half. This is today. But this was nice to accept the volume higher. I believe it'll be pretty much the same thing on the Nasdaq. VPOC is near the top quarter. Their high volume node they didn't even touch, so this is nice. Shot back up, lower high, and we're still balanced. So about the same. Just be interesting to see how it goes. Nothing to really update here. I'll go ahead and merge these as well. And that's the market profile. So again, all this is going to be really subject to change once we do these earnings. Once we do these earnings and this data, because I mean you have some bigger names here. So I mean this shit is just going to get real whippy. So just pretty much keep it simple. It's not really too much to talk about. So I mean we're pretty much balanced here. If you look at the actual footprint. Again, this is just a daily, so I mean, I just like to consolidate it. I'm not caring too much about this. I can kind of see the structure of it in my own way. But this is a little above average volume, not high by any means. Looks like it's a fair amount of sellers, in this area here. I am interested on. I'm assuming that they tried to put up like a good fight here. I'm curious how active the sellers were either before or after. This is when I'm gonna go down to like lower time frames and look at exactly like how these formed. But just interesting to see the amount of sellers and the ask here, the bids and the ask. If we look here, same about above average volume. It's a very ugly candle. A lot of it's a lot of higher delta up here on the ask side, and they are should be underwater. So I'm just curious if this becomes like a selling point, this former high, and where these buyers, possible buyers, are. Be interested to see like once we have our data and everything, if we what area is this? This is 311, so about 30 points. So I'm curious just if we break under, be curious if about this area. I think this area is going to be pretty nice for a possible retest if we do break under. Yeah, looks like it's just now 3 o'clock. We're just now kind of breaking open. All I'm doing, yeah, and we're shooting up again. Cool. Okay, cool. So that's that. Let me go ahead and mark this down. That is 11 minutes 30 seconds in. Finish the overview. Okay, cool. And we're gonna do this next book. So typically I would do a screenshot here and just do my annotations. So I'm just gonna do screenshot, and I will handle that later. But just to kind of talk through this again, you can zoom out. You can see we drifted up pretty well. This was on that, the Thursday big sell-off, or the Thursday continuation, more of a bearish close, a failure from the buyers. We ended up drifting up in the overnight. I remember, it'd be honestly, especially with this being a Monday, just bear with me. I want to add a few more days here for a little better context because it's kind of important to what's been going on. I don't want to skimp on that, especially if I'm the one, if I'm doing a video of it. So you have Monday, and then you have the overnight, and then you have Friday, and then the overnight, and then you have Thursday, and the overnight. So Thursday, shit, you might as well just go back here. So this is Tuesday. So Tuesday we ended up selling off over the overnight. And then we have like a real strong sell-off on Wednesday, open drive going down, just pushing, no real effort from the buyers. They tried to balance out a little bit. And then this was a Thursday, right? Yeah. Yeah, because I remember seeing this real time, but we were balancing out, and it was like, oh, this is bearish. They were kind of breaking, but we ended up having a nice little rally here from the bottom, and we ended up making a lower high here. So we're all thinking, well, not we all were thinking, but if you were looking at some of the underlying data, I guess you can see like the lower high. The lower high and the lower the higher low, excuse me. This is why it's good for me to talk this out, but the higher low. And then we ended up pushing, and then we ended up having this data here. I forget what the data was. I know PCE was Friday. Actually, let me not look at that. Let me not do that. I can just look here. GDP and durable goods, jobless claims. But yeah, 5:30 data. We ended up pushing, and then we ended up making another. Oh, I forgot. I don't have to do it like it's a screenshot. Probably just do this, huh? Yeah, 5:30 data. We ended up breaking down, and then we protected that low. Okay, cool. That seems a bit bullish. Cool. We started like flagging up. Everyone was ready. Okay, cool. This may be the time. And then we just fart, just brain fart, try to come up and then just smack back down at this open, and then we just like straight down. This was like a whole. I remember this being a thing like when I first started trading futures. I think like in the fall and summer of 2023. I just remember a lot of times there would be situations where you'll have like a somewhat nice structure, and it was like stop around and go. I remember that being like a thing. So I was kind of waiting for this situation. I did not trade this well, and I was trading all up in this. And I typically don't trade at the first bracket, but just poorly executed that day. But we ended up stopping out, breaking this low. Then we ended up just finding some bids and then just shooting through pretty much straight up. But this was a balanced day. It's been balanced action recently, so just more balance from getting rejected from the previous day DGPs. So you got the Monday where you're selling off, and then you have the big sell off on the Tuesday, and you have the Wednesday that's actually selling off, and you have this drift down that's trying to find support. They're trying, and then we ended up getting like a stop run, shoot up, balance, but they hold. They hold. This is really important. I really do feel like this is going to be some bullshit where, like on FOMC, all this stuff is going on, or throughout some of this, we're going to come down and stop like here and then just like shoot up and go back to all time highs. Like the market does shit like this. And I've been seeing this a lot, especially like just little stuff like this. But anyways, I'd be curious to see how this plays out. But anyways, we just dripped off, and again, this is Wednesday, right? Oh, this is Thursday. This is Thursday. It was Wednesday night, and Thursday is where they're kind of holding and doing what they can, selling out. People thinking that we're gonna hit these lows, we're gonna break, but we drift up. We drift up, we drift up. We have like a negative reaction here. You would think some kind of continuation, but we plant our foot. And kind of hold up. Balance range holding, and we're shooting up. We're still this two-way balance action. But we ended up consolidating and holding above. The prior um, IB high, which again is the first 30 minutes for me. I know it's the hour for the majority of other people. But this is nice. This is nice. Let me hide these. I really like how they're going down. They're protecting their low. They're drifting up. They're trying to protect themselves, and this looks good. It's definitely much weaker, but you can see that there's a fight going on. And if we do get up under this, this is going to be another good area for us to possibly retest former support. I'd be curious to see how this goes. But yeah, I feel like this area is going to be important down here. I should probably uh, put some drawings on there, but I'll probably do that off screen. But I just wanted to get some context to what was going on prior to, so that way, as we're drifting for Sunday, we're drifting up and we're trading overnight. We just have some context of what's going on. Okay, cool. All right, that was a little bit confusing. I want to redo that another time. But anyways, this will be Sunday. So we open up over the weekend, and again, this is the close at the prior IB high. We ended up opening up and then shoot up in that 1 minute, and then just drift up. You know what I mean? We're just using this as support. We couldn't even touch it. Axis about right there. Couldn't even touch it. Trade above it. Kind of two-way trading coil. Go down, another leg up. Break that high. Immediately shoot back down. So this is like a sign for balance as well. And especially with this being like a nicer range of 33, and so what is that, about 20? No, it's like 40, right? Yeah, it's like 20. What is it, 30? So yeah, almost 40. It's about 35 to 40. So I mean, that's a lot of range, and you're already seeing that you're balanced already with this two-way, these longer legs. That's just like good information for you to see. Again, all this is in hindsight, so I wouldn't expect too much. I would imagine you would balance somewhere above this overnight from Thursday into Friday. Again, I doubt they're gonna try to let these sellers out here. So I'd imagine you want to protect this area in here. And they ended up kind of what being the situation for today. All right, let me close this because I'm tired of looking at those. So just bear with me. Okay. Just want to see what that looked like. So for starters, we're basically just resuming from the prior day, even though we had balance for the whole overnight. For the A bracket, what is it? This is basically just an open auction. It's basically just an open auction, just two-way trading, leg down, leg up, leg down, leg up, leg down, leg up, bigger leg down, bigger leg up, consolidation, and then you just close here. It just really isn't much to talk about. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything to talk about. So yeah, you just continue trading like literally in the middle of that range, even though this is underexplored. You test down, no one wants to trade there. Cool. Well, people don't want to trade higher. So you go down and you break that range. I would imagine you would find some kind of support between here and the prior day. If not, just collapse all the way through. But they held all the way until their just basically the prior high. They protected their prior mid. I believe the Nasdaq ended up protecting their, or they ended up bouncing, finding support at their prior IB mid. So basically, same situation for them. Pardon my line. Same situation. Sell off, bounce, hold, which they had a nicer hold, which I liked. And this is good for tech because they're the ones that kind of let us down, but they needed a break. So they're having some time to kind of rest. So we're 21 minutes in. To shoot up, and again we're still below this level here. So this is kind of interesting to see because that is not the case for S&P. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's not good. So yeah, we kind of ticked through, and now we're balancing lower. But the more we build volume above here, the more we build volume. I'm tripping. I can just do a freaking. Yeah, the more we build volume in that range, then I would imagine we'll do well. But they can't get rejected here. I'd be curious to see what this looks like on my market profile. But yeah, other than that, I mean, really wasn't much for today. This was more focused on the week prep and kind of the week review. To me, pretty much ended there. Just gonna do a little bit more cleaning up. But yeah, same thing with them, right? Drift up, hold, hold. I'm sure this got some people excited. Couldn't hold up there. Oh, that is ugly. It's just interesting candle. Yeah, typically I would like to see a break of the the low for the B bracket. So I have this come down, and then I would be open to trading somewhere in here. The fact that this didn't break the B bracket low, I wouldn't be interested in that if I was looking. Same situation here. They ended up breaking in the C. So I mean, possibly here, but honestly, given the way Nasdaq was looking, I probably wouldn't have been interested in this either. Um, yeah. So that's all. So yeah. So going forward, as we head into the rest of the week, I would imagine we may end up being more balanced, just with some extended ranges. It's gonna be interesting though. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this here. Thank you, and I will do my notes by hand.